continue as a preliminary matter. This is Dan Finn, Vice Chair of the Board of Health, and permit me to confirm that all members and persons anticipated on the agenda are present and can hear me. Members, when I call your name, please respond in the affirmative. Austin Magnet.
Austin Magnet is present.
Bill Muller.
Bill Muller here.
Jennifer Maynard.
And Maynard here.
And Karen Wozdowski-Govan as a previously scheduled commitment. And staff and anticipated speakers on the agenda, when I call your name, please respond in the affirmative. Nancy Connors.
Nancy Connors here.
Okay. Julie Van Arsdalen. We see you, and you're probably just hooking into the audio. No? Okay, so you're muted. Austin, are you able to unmute her? Do you have that power?
No, only she can do it.
I'm unmuted.
Okay, now we go. Now we're talking.
There.
You
Now
can
we're
hear me?
talking. And yes, we can.
Okay.
And Julie Van Arsdalen, are you present?
I am here.
Okay. And so I'd like to open the meeting. Could I please get a motion to open the meeting?
This is Austin. I will make a motion to open the meeting.
And is there a second?
This is Bill Muller. I'll second that.
And by roll call, all in favor of opening the meeting?
Austin Magnet, aye.
Bill Muller, aye.
Jen Maynard, aye.
And Dan Finn, aye. Thanks, everybody, first of all, for coming in this evening, as we got postponed last week due to IT issues. And as I mentioned to a couple of folks here earlier, I apologize for some banging in the background. I have carpentry going on, and I tried to get it on the other side of the house, but I think we might be able to get through this. So good evening. The open meeting of the Grafton Board of Health is being conducted remotely, consistent with the act extending certain COVID-19 measures adopted during the state of emergency. This act includes an extension to sometime in the spring of 2022. I don't have the exact date. It's either March or April, and extending the provisions of the March 12th, 2020 order by the governor of the state of Massachusetts. In the order, which you can find posted on the town's website at www.grafton-mass.gov, allows public bodies to meet entirely remotely, so as long as reasonable public access is afforded, so that the public can follow along during the deliberations of this meeting. Okay, there are no public hearings scheduled this evening. And for this meeting, the Grafton Board of Health is convening by video conference via Zoom, as posted in the town's website. Now turning for this meeting, and I don't have this in front of me, but as chair of this particular meeting or host, I will reach out to me and speak your name if you'd like to speak. And then if we have any votes, we will vote them with a roll call vote. Motion, a second, and roll call vote. And now turning to the first item on the agenda, going to a report from the Central Mass Regional Alliance. So Julie, that would be you, please.
Hi. I'm not sure if everybody did receive our list of inspections that we conducted. It was a pretty extensive list. Yes.
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
we
Yeah,
do.
okay. I didn't know if you had any questions on anything that was on the list, because like I said, there's a lot of work that have been done.
I think
but
it
if
was,
what-
it was a lot of work, and you and Mike have obviously been quite busy over the summertime.
Yep, we
Um,
have been. We've been very busy.
And
And
it's
like to
like,
take a peek kind of quickly to see if there's anything that jumps out at you. Our interim director, Zach Dyer, could not make it this evening. He had a conflict with another meeting.
Yep.
So I just wanted to let you know that. Zach will be around for a while, and the position should be posted hopefully within days, the director's position, as well as some other vacancies that they're looking to fill. So I just wanted to let you know that.
Yeah, so Zach is temporarily taking Karen Clark's place.
Yep.
And probably still waiting to fill Colleen's as well.
Zach Dyer used to be our deputy director prior to Colleen being our deputy director.
Okay,
So he has worked with us for quite a long time, and he's actually helping us with our reaccreditation as well.
great. Yeah, I think, it's really pretty nice to see some of the detail on the complaints. Not nice, but it is good to get into some of that. Does anyone else on the board have any questions about the specifics?
Julie, this is Austin. I was wondering if you knew the specifics of the soil sampling that was done on Old Upton Road. What was that all about? Was it like a spill or some sort of contamination?
That 76 Old Upton Road, I witnessed soil testing for a septic system.
Oh, okay.
So typically what I do is I witness soil testing for new construction as well as repairs.
Yep.
And I determine where groundwater is.
I see there's a lot of complaints from Bushel and Peck and their smelly trash. Was that sort of resolved? Did anybody actually speak with them about that?
We did. Mike was there and I actually was there as well. Yeah, we ended up speaking to them. We having them relocate the dumpster onto the pavement versus on the grass.
Yeah.
I think when the dumpster is emptied, they just put it back. So
Yeah.
we'd like to keep it more towards, on the pavement and make sure the lids are down.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. Thank
Yeah,
you.
I was just going to ask similarly, are any of these, obviously we know there's one that's still open, which we'll talk about later on, but are these all closed out or is there follow-up from any of these? Because it's a bunch of different places, it looks like.
For the complaints on this list, I believe that we have one that's still open that we have to do a re-inspection on, which is a housing.
And I'm assuming Micah is certified, as a Title V inspector. Is that correct? Or he's not yet?
Not yet. He's working on it.
Okay.
Yep.
But he seems to be doing pretty well with the various other inspections, so that's great.
Yep.
Any other questions for Julie?
Julie, this is Austin. I was wondering if going forward on the investigations, if we could get the dates either that the complaints were made or the dates that they were investigated, just so, I guess probably more so the dates that the complaints were made, just because I see a whole bunch of them. I don't know if like one's at the beginning of the month, one's at the end of the month, or if they're all the same day.
Yeah, some of the ones that you see that are in a row, you're
I could-
referring to Creeper. You're referring to Creeper Hill. Those are on the
Over-
same.
Just all of them, really. Even like Bushel and Peck has a lot, but I don't know if it's like the same day or if it's looks like it went on for a whole month.
Right. Yeah, it would go back and forth. That was multiple, but usually if you see some of them that are in series on your list, that's just a multiple complaints from multiple people at the same time.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. So if there's no other questions, Julie, I might ask you to hang on just a little bit. I'd like to go to the next item on the agenda. And apparently there's another attendee on the meeting, and that's fine. I was just notified. So Austin, let me see if I can just see it's my capabilities. Oh yeah. Okay. Okay, Steve. So if anyone wants to reach out to Steve, we can do that. But Julie, again, I'd like to go to the reorganization of the board, but if you don't mind hanging on, I may skip ahead to Feedback Earth, and then you could cut out if you have other commitments this evening. So so next annually, we reorganize the board, as you know, and we vote for a chair, vice chair, and a clerk. So I don't know, at this time, I'd entertain any nominations for the chair for the next year, for the fiscal year ending next June 30th or whatever, the end of next June. I can't nominate anybody myself, but anyone have a nomination for a chairman of the Board of Health?
I would,
Go ahead, Bill.
but you can do it. Go
Oh,
ahead.
okay. I think I'd like to nominate Karen Gustalzi, I always mess that up, Galvin, for chair of the Board of Health.
And is there a second?
This is Bill Muller. I second that.
And any discussion? So if not, by roll call vote, we have a nomination for Karen Gwiazdowski Govin as chairman. So all in favor by roll call?
Austin Magnan, aye.
Bill Muller, aye.
And Maynard, aye.
And Dan Finn, aye. So that's unanimous. And I just want to thank Karen for volunteering to lead us with her experience and aptitude for the next year. And now for vice chair, are there any nominees for vice chair?
I'd like to nominate Jennifer Maynard for vice chair.
And is there a second?
This is Bill Muller. I second that.
And any discussion? Hearing none. We have a nomination and a second, so I'll take a vote by roll call for Jennifer Maynard as vice chair of the Board of Health for this coming year.
This is Bill Muller, aye.
Austin Magnan, aye.
Do I vote on myself?
I don't know if you abstain. I don't think it's going to matter, but in any event, you may abstain if you'd like to, but Dan Finn, aye.
Sure.
So
Sure, I'll vote for myself. Thanks.
so congratulations again, unanimous, and good luck.
Congratulations.
Yeah, sure. Thanks for the Zoom fun, guys. Thank you.
And as I may have previously mentioned at the National Night Out that we worked, I'm still available to be Julie's backup for the FEP and sort of be the point person for the EDS and the drill and anything else like that I've been doing. So that's great. And now I'm just looking for a nomination for clerk of the Board of Health.
I nominate Austin Magnan for clerk.
And is there a second?
Jen Maynard, I second.
And any discussion? So if not, by roll call vote, I'd like to take a vote on Austin being voted in as clerk of the Board of Health for this coming year.
Bill Muller, aye.
Jen Maynard, aye.
And Austin,
I guess a conflict of interest, I probably should abstain.
okay. And so then this is Dan Finn, aye. So by a vote of 3-0, however they call that, Austin has been voted in as clerk of the Board of Health for the coming year. And congratulations, apparently you did a fine job over the past year or two.
Thank you. Looking
So-
forward.
So again, if you folks don't mind, I'd like to skip ahead just to get Julie's feedback on Feedback Earth, which is number 4 in our discussion agenda. I know I just found out from Nancy today that there's been whole list of folks that are involved in this, including there's a complaint inspection group called Williamson Environmental LLC, who have an 800 number for complaints. And it kind of starts, as I understand it, starts with them, and then it goes to the Alliance, and then eventually, actually, pretty quickly to the DEP, who seems to be in charge at this stage of the game. Is that correct, Julie?
So they have it's a third party complaint hotline that was ordered by DEP. Feedback Earth complied. And so again, there's a 24-hour, 7 days a week odor hotline that's in place that people can call and put complaints in if they're, feel that there's an odor or a nuisance. That third party complaint agency investigates as well as provides information to the Board of Health and to DEP at the same time.
Okay. So it's not entirely out of our hands. We're still concerned about it, obviously, and can voice any opinions. But apparently there's been a line of communication set up directly to the DEP, who's apparently on top of it.
That's valid. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's valid. I was finding that prior to the hotline being set up, when I did get the complaint, if I went and investigated the complaint, it was unfounded at the time that I went, because it appeared as though it was like at the initial startup in the morning. So by the time, I received the complaint, it was unfounded. So sometimes it was, me chasing after the fact. But I think that this 24-hour complaint hotline is a better tool too. And that way, direct communication with DEP.
Right.
And I'm hoping, that everything gets resolved. I'm not sure if they're having any issues with their deodorizer. I'm not really 100% sure, but again, it's still there, and the DEP will continue to work with them. And then if any assistance that I need, if I need to do anything as well, I'll be available.
Thank you. And actually, just for the record, I may have to recuse myself from discussions about Feedback Earth or this particular situation. I just found out today that my brother-in-law is on the board of the DEP. He's an engineer and a waste management kind of guy. So anyway.
Yeah, Dan, I just wonder, I know I think it was posted in a news posting in town, but if it would be all right with folks, just for our record, if I could just read the little statement with the 24/7 odor hotline for our records here.
Sure. I think that's a good idea.
Yeah, so right on the Feedback Earth's website, if you scroll all the way to the bottom, there's a bold yellow line that says Feedback Earth is committed to running operations that do not cause community disturbances. If you suspect that our facility is generating unpleasant odors and disrupting your day, please call our 24/7 odor hotline at 585-453-2311. So it is posted on their website down. I'm assuming that's the number that we have elsewhere.
Yep.
Just for our records.
Yep, that's what I have here. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Jen. That answered two of my questions. I was wondering, A, what the number was, and B, how you get it. So it looks like it's on their website too. Thank you.
Sure.
And lastly on them, and again, I don't want to get into it too much, but I think they were fined at one point. Is that correct, Julie? Did they pay a fine?
I know that there was some enforcement action taken with DEP, and part of the resolution was this 24-hour odor, hotline.
Yep.
But as far, I'm really not, I don't really have all the information regarding fines.
Okay.
That
Thank
would be, yeah.
Thank you very much. And going to keep us informed and have Zach reach out to us if necessary and let us know if there's any other personnel changes. I know the Alliance is going through some changes, reorganization as well. But thanks for all your hard work.
Anytime. Thank you.
And so going backwards now to COVID-19 updates. According to the BioBot analytics that we get every week, the Worcester wastewater has seen a little bit of a bump. And I think I have the week ending July 29th, is it? It was 15 cases. I think it's actually gone up since then. Plus, I'm pretty sure there are a lot of cases that are not being reported these days, because just personally, I seem to hear every day about a couple more people that have contracted the virus, and because it's not as virulent and for whatever reason it's not being reported, which is too bad. But I think we have to continue to be vigilant and strongly recommend masking, and that's my opinion, in crowded places, because it just seems to be on the upswing again to me.
Yeah, Nancy and I were chatting a little bit. I dropped off some excess supplies
Right.
from our National Night Out, which was great. Just, one thing of note, I think we've talked a lot about how in-home testing kits certainly degrade, the reported numbers that we see on reports, which is why some of the water levels and things like that is important. We've talked about posting it in the past, but I think it's just helpful again to note for the record here that if folks do need test kits so that they could properly isolate if they've had an exposure, we know mask wearing is probably down at the moment, but at least if folks know that they're positive, to kind of isolate themselves, follow the CDC guidelines around that we do have quite a few test kits available at the Board of Health.
Yep.
So if you can't get out to a local pharmacy, or don't have any left at home, can certainly contact the Board of Health so we can get those out to people. There's no charge, and we have plenty. So
Yep.
they are extending the expiration dates on those as well. So
Yep, that's one point we were making at National Night Out, that even though on the box it says they expired July 30th or something, that there's a QR code that actually spells it out that it's been extended at least 1 year from the date on the box. And there are plenty of masks too that are good masks. So if anyone in the public wants some, they're available at the Board of Health. Going on to meeting dates, future meeting dates. The next meeting is September 12th. But then we're looking at October, November, December. I don't know if anyone has any suggestions. We did check with Karen, and she thought either October 17th or 24th. Any preference there?
I won't be able to make the meeting on the 17th.
Okay.
I don't know if the 24th is too late,
Um,
or if you guys want to just do it without me.
Well, now that you mention it, the 17th is a little bit of a problem for me as well. So how does the 24th sound for folks?
That's in October.
Yeah,
October.
the 24th works for me.
Okay,
same.
let's put that in there. And then November 14th or 21st.
Probably the 14th. I know the 21st is holiday week. I don't know if that's tough for everybody.
Probably, right. And we'll kind of get back on that middle of the month instead of end of the month.
Yeah.
So if that's all right with everybody, with everyone, we'll go to the 14th of November. December, we're thinking for a change, we might just need one meeting instead of two. Julie's been able to sign legally for many of the permits, which was usually the second meeting focus. And so we have December 12th or the 19th. I'm thinking if we go to that 12th in the middle of the month, or
Sure.
If we need to, for some reason, we could bump it out, as
Yeah.
opposed to looking backwards.
The 19th is the start of Hanukkah too. So the 12th is perfect.
Okay, so we have December 12th. That's good. And we talked about Feedback Earth, and now Nancy might have a question about the influenza clinic, the flu vaccines for 2022. What did we do last year, Nancy? We have to unmute you somehow.
Last year, we had 5 customers.
I think she said last year they had 5 customers. Is that what you said?
Yeah, yeah.
I spoke with Amelia with monkeypox. She's thinking perhaps not having flu clinics.
Yeah, with all the other avenues these days between pharmacies and other clinics, it seems to me it may not be worth risking the time, but also dealing with seniors primarily. I bet the 5 folks were seniors. I'm assuming will still make it available for town employees and for students.
Just wondering, do we have anything available? Have we ever offered anything for homebound residents?
We've only had a couple, and Pat Bruckman did go out.
Yeah, I think through the Alliance, we were able to refer folks. And again, it was only a few people. We'll probably try to do that again this year.
Yeah, that'd be good information to just
Yeah.
share with folks.
So that's that. And speaking of monkeypox, it's something we're going to have to keep an eye on. Apparently, there were a couple of cases in Worcester. Still waiting for some guidance from the CDC and the Alliance. I just heard today they were trying to change the name. I don't know what that's all about. But that I think we'll be talking about that in the next month or two, probably a little bit more. Any other old or new business that we should discuss? No, I'll take that as a no. And I don't, Nancy, is there any correspondence?
You have everything.
Okay. Okay, I think we're in pretty good shape then. 30 minutes, I like that. And thanks everyone for your patience getting through this particular meeting between last week and this week. And if there's no other business, I think I can accept a motion to adjourn the meeting.
This is Austin. I'll make a motion to adjourn the meeting.
And this second.
This is Bill. I'll second that.
Okay, and by roll call vote, we're going to adjourn this meeting. All those in favor?
Bill Muller, aye.
Austin Magnan, aye.
Jen Maynard, aye.
And Dan Finn, aye. It's unanimous. Have a good evening, everyone.